Hello everybody, I'm Killatia here, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting product for the Super Nintendo called the RetroGen Adapter. Now what this adapter does is that you can literally play your Sega Genesis games on your Super Nintendo. So if you always want the blast processing on your Nintendo system, now you can do that. And I gotta say, haven't really opened it up yet, other than taking off the stickers up the top. But I am already liking the design of this box. As you can see, they designed well. You can see the product inside, and they have a design to where it looks like it's already inside the Super Nintendo. Now, not only does it work with the Super Nintendo, but it also works with third-party gaming system that can play Super Nintendo games, like the Retro Duo system and the likes of that. What I find interesting though, two things interesting. One, it's region free, but you do have to switch between the 4 different regions that is compatible with it. NTSC, Japan, and PAL regions. But I also find odd that it includes a 5-foot AV cable, which I kind of find odd to include in a adapter like this. So anyways, let's go on ahead and open it up and let's take a look at it. Okay, move that black thing all the way here. And here we go. We got the little pamphlet for the RetroGen here. Manual and such, and here's the AV cables for it. Is there anything that makes this special or something here? Yeah, I do find it odd that my RetroGen dropped, but I do find it odd that an adapter comes with a AV cables, because you wouldn't think that it does, but and then here's the piece of resistance, the RetroGen, nicely wrapped up here. So let's see, let's open it up here. It feels nice here. Feels like a very sturdy Super Nintendo cartridge. We got the cartridge slot for the Sega Genesis games up top of here. We have AV output right here. I'm not sure if we would actually need to use it, but we'll see in a few minutes. And then we have the switch for the different regions right here. It's already set up for NTSC for North America, but like I said, you also set up for Japan, PAL, and I'm guessing Australia too. So anyways, plastic packaging drop. So anyways, that's the unboxing part of it. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, did some quick cleaning on the cartridges, so third time's the charm here. So 3, 2, 1. Uh-oh. Getting a little flaky on here. There we go. And there we go. We are literally playing a Sega Genesis game on a Super Nintendo. Well, technically a Super Nintendo clone, but nonetheless, we are playing a Sega Genesis game on a system that's not made by Sega at all. You know, it does work as advertised, but I do kind of notice some colors washed out here. It could be because of the TV I have. So I'm gonna do some quick recording here and with the RetroGen and a Sega Genesis Model 3 to get to the conclusive footage, to the conclusive conclusion, for lack of a better word. But I can tell you right now, that odd, freaky thing that it does with the Sega logo at the beginning does have me concerned. So, catch you all in a bit. So here's what Sonic the Hedgehog looks like on the Gen X port on the Retro Duo. It surprisingly has a better coloring than what was shown on the TV, but I noticed that the image itself was getting much more wavier than it should. Like, I'm not sure if you notice it, but for me, it's very noticeable. Now here's the same game played on the regular Sega Genesis. As you can probably already tell, it's not as wavy, it's much more clear. Like, yes, I expect that third-party clone systems aren't going to be 100% accurate, but the quality I seen on the RetroGen Adapter isn't exactly good. However, maybe it could have been the fact that it was being played on another third-party system. So, do you know what I did? I went on ahead and grabbed my old Super Nintendo out of the closet and see if the RetroGen worked better on a real Super Nintendo system. And do you know what? The exact same problem as before. Granted, it's slightly better, but you can still notice the waviness on a real Super Nintendo as well. Now, maybe the RetroGen Adapter doesn't exactly work well with Sonic the Hedgehog. So, for the sake of fairness, I did pull out a few other Sega Genesis games and see if the problem persisted. Here is Dynamite Eddie on the regular Sega Genesis. Granted, not the best capture footage, but still pretty good nonetheless. Now here's the same Dynamite Eddie being played on the RetroGen Adapter on a regular Super Nintendo. As you can probably tell, the waviness is much more noticeable than before. Now here is the introduction to Sonic 3D Blast, which I am using to showcase the device's unnatural vendetta against the color white. But the game with the biggest problem with the RetroGen Adapter is the Power Ranger game for the Sega Genesis. Here's Power Rangers on the Sega Genesis. Not as good as its Super Nintendo counterpart, but the gameplay is still fast paced and it is a good looking game. Now let's see how it looks on the RetroGen Adapter. It looks terrible. The waviness is so noticeable that it is actually damaging the quality of the overall image. And the frame rate drops so badly that the gameplay is no longer smooth, reducing it to almost unplayable levels. Like I said earlier, I don't expect a third-party system to be as good as the real deal, but the quality with the RetroGen is so poor that it is completely unacceptable. Yes, we can keep on going comparing games from playing it on the Genesis to the RetroGen on the Super Nintendo and on the Retro Duo, but I think we can all come to a very agreeable conclusion to the RetroGen Adapter. It is nice to play a Genesis game on the Super Nintendo, and it is pretty neat that you can play games from different regions with the flip or switch, but the image quality suffers so much on this adapter, and the Power Ranger game that we played on here was barely playable compared to when you play on a regular Sega Genesis. Not to mention that the device needs its own AV output and doesn't use the ones already on your Super Nintendo. It's really quite a shame, really, because I was really interested in this device. I paid $25 for this, and it's not even worth $5. And honestly, I do not recommend the RetroGen Adapter. I give this device a D. And the only reason I'm giving it a D is because it does work through the fact that you can't play Sega Genesis game on the Super Nintendo. This is Killatia signing off, and see you next time.